Hey people, here we are again. Again, you thought you had gotten along without me, but here I am again to sit in front of you and paint dragons until they are done. I did some work in the meantime between this morning stream and this afternoon stream, so I think we are dangerously close. Dangerously close. Hi everybody. Hi Shadow Raven. Hello, hello, hello. So, not much notice on this one, I know, because Justin was working on issues with the other stream that he has to deal with. And so we kind of went live a little bit late, so I'm sure people will show up as we continue. Salutations, Dan Chan and Tonium. All right, so without further ado, I'm not going to waste much time today. We will just chat and dragon. Ahoo, yay for this. Thank you, Princess Zelda, for the sub. I will remind Justin, who is currently... Justin is going to be in quiet mode this stream because he's fighting with streams for tonight. So he needs to get it up and running. So essentially, he's going to be really quiet unless we absolutely need him. But Justin, note down that sub.
Roger.
Yeah, he's lurking. He's working really hard to master a brand new program that should enable us to do all of our streams really well, but it's really high end, so it's very difficult. So he feels like he's learning calculus all over again, he said. So that is it was so bad he considered physical exercise to work out his frustrations. Seriously.
You know, standard stuff. I'm sure you guys understand, so thank you.
Yes, exactly. Hold on, I'm just watching my dog because I had to rush her outside for to do her business, and now she is not settling very well, so I'm kind of keeping an eye on her. Alrighty, let's go minicams. Minicam is very up high right now on purpose because as I'm assembling these, I want you guys to see what I'm doing, but first we need to finish some work. So I need a bigger brush because I need to essentially at least map out the top part of this tail here. Where's my base? So this is where we're really kind of seeing where I need to have things done. So I can kind of slot Mr. Dragon into the base real quick. And, yep, double dragons and then done dragons. Yes. Kira, you okay? Are you just wandering around to make me nervous? I think the answer is yes. All right, so as you can see, my palette is full of pretty colors. These are all the colors that we have used on these models, except for pure blue liner. This is the closest thing to that. But everything else is represented here, and that is because we are in final stage, and that means that we have to pretty much touch up everything and finish painting little bits of things that we may have forgotten. So we need all these colors open all at once. As you saw, probably if you logged in earlier, I had them all shrink wrapped because I was working with them earlier. The only thing that can get you running is a zombie apocalypse. You're almost there. Exactly. See? Hey, Daffodweir. Hello. Yeah, well... Pewter Rooster, yes. See, so this is the dealio. Denton, the city of Denton, actually... Hi, I'm Anne, by the way. City of Denton did a shelter-at-home order, and Sadie does not have internet, has zero upload in her home, as she lives with her two grandparents who are sick. So she essentially helps care for them, and that is her situation. So she can't do the show while she has to stay at home and not come to Reaper. So we'll see how this progresses, and we'll get her back online as soon as we can. But in the meantime, I offered to take her slot and finish up these dragons that I've been working on for 37 weeks. So hi, I'm Anne. What nice to meet you. And yes, Sadie will return eventually. I promise. Yeah. Sadie's got important stuff. I mean, she is a saint. That woman, by the way, seriously, caring for her grandma who's got dementia and her grandfather who's had medical issues as well, and helping them. She is tops in my book. Sadie is awesome. So yeah, we will get her back online as soon as we can. I promise. No, actually, Justin is going to be kind of quiet, Hydro, because he's actually working on the fix for Reaper Live. See, Ed and Dave and Ron do have internet upload at home, so they are trying to essentially cobble together a multi-stream where they can still do Reaper Live, Reaper Land, all those shows with you guys. That is our goal, because we understand that that content is important in this day and age when everybody's stuck at home. So we don't want to fall down on the content. So we're working hard to make sure that we can give you guys content even while all this is going on. And in the middle of all this, I'm moving. So my show is also going to be on hiatus for 2 weeks. So they'll probably show reruns, but I'll try to get back online as soon as I can. Yeah, Sadie is wonderful. She's a great gal. So Reaper Live, there is, as of this point, Dan Shan, there is Reaper Live tonight. Come hell or high water, somebody will figure it out. We hope. Yeah, oh my gosh, and too much, right? Too much and. There is a point where I get sick even of myself. So, alright, so hopefully just pray that Justin figures out his new streaming software that is supposed to miraculously allow everybody to continue the shows. So, yes. Oh yeah, that would go flawlessly, Ghibli. Yeah. So, I think, well, Reaper Minis is essential Pewter Rooster, but only, like, we have a skeleton crew on, and the skeleton crew is only our salaried owners right now. They're the only people who are asking to risk themselves in this situation. So it's like 5, 6 people, the owners working at Reaper, like Ed and Dave and Adrian and Ron. Yeah, they're all working during all this, trying essentially to just get orders out. Not concentrating on stores, not concentrating on distribution, just customer orders. But yeah, so yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, the test stream did look apparently good. Justin is complaining about sound or something. So yeah. Minnesota just got a lot. Oklahoma also just got the stay-at-home order. Yeah, so oh boy. I don't know, is Painting Platinum still up? Hey, am I for mature audiences, Justin?
Yes, actually you are.
Yes?
I think all of the shows are, technically.
Yeah, because every once in a while we drop a swear word. Yeah, so. Thank you, Scott Beal. I actually leave for California in 10 days. Plague or no plague. I would rather, both David and I would rather worry about each other in person than worry about each other being 1,600 miles apart. So we're just like, let's just do it. So this is the test, right? This is the universe testing my resolve. Do you really want to move, Anne? Do you really want to move in with this guy? Well, here's a plague, and you could just, like, see if you really mean that. Oh yeah, I saw the survival kit, Reaper John. Great idea. Whoever came up with that one, that was a great idea. All right, so I'm going to switch to minicam, or I'm going to actually work on minicam here. I'm going to work on Black Dragon's tail, because it's really, really not done, and it needs to be done, and also I just dipped his claw into blue. This is the problem with dragons, okay, is once you put them together, they have spiny bits and things, and they stick into everything, and they generally make themselves nuisances. So then you have to move your palette so that you can get at the dragon tail at a good angle. So, it's been a while. Twisted Oma, yeah, if you look on our Discord, I think he put it up. But yeah, Learn to Paint Kit survival kits, aren't they, Reaper John? You should talk about them. I am going to use some olive on this dragon's tail. And generally put some highlights on it because it has been unhighlighted, and I will use some black as well because this is one of the few models that I'm actually using pure black on because for black dragons it really makes sense. And then we are highlighting it, if you recall, with a kind of a swamp green, the actual swamp green actually, 9175. With some creamy ivory mixed into it to bring it up. And then we were using that to, and then glazing over the top of it. Let me wet, I need some more water in my black here. Hard to wet blend in thin coats if your paint isn't thin. So we're essentially wet blending so we can get a quick transition down. And I just want to get this tail mostly blocked in. And even if a little bit gets rubbed off while I'm putting it onto the base, that's okay. That just, essentially it's less work for me. I looked at just totally finishing the tail out once I had done, once I'd attached it to the base, and it was just too much. Like, it looked like it was just going to be a bad angle. Sometimes you have to do that. Like when you're thinking about it, you want to kind of put the parts together and see how much of a pain it's going to be to paint that stuff when it's in place. And if the answer is, oh my gosh, really, really, really a pain, then you've got to kind of go with that and just try to make it work. Yeah, I dipped the wing again. I'm not going to... I'm going to repaint it anyway, so... Yeah, focus is going to be a bit out. Hold on, let me... There. It's a little better. I'm doing my best considering these things are... Because now we're going to lose depth of field, essentially. So, you know, I'm trying to keep things relatively in focus. Even though technically his nose is way higher than some of this, you know, some of these tail scales. Tail scales. We can rhyme. So let's just block in some of these green highlights. And of course, now that I've got the dragon all assembled, he's going to try to get in the way of everything I'm doing, because dragons are persnickety that way. They're essentially, he's going to try to keep me from accomplishing my goals, because he has things sticking out all over. And this is why you hold off putting the dragon together until the last minute, guys. Seriously. Oh, that's nice, Granico. That's great. That's a great, great support thing. That's awesome. I actually, when I was coming back from my walk last night, I passed by a pizza delivery guy who was delivering pizza, and he was, the guy at the door was like chatting with his delivery person who was standing like 15 feet away, and essentially saying that, yeah, he was a healthcare worker, and he really appreciated that the pizza guy was being like good with social distancing and all that, and how important it was. Because the healthcare guy was older, and the pizza delivery guy like looked like he was like 18. So it was nice to see, you know, people being essentially like reaffirmed when they're making the correct call about social distancing. It's blocky. I'm gonna have to thin that paint down a bit. Sometimes when you're trying to wet blend over the top of existing layers, you really, really need to thin your paint a bit more. Yes, it's Anne again. Dismissed. Persnickety. Informal North American. It's true. Persnickety is one of my favorite terms. Especially to apply to miniatures. Especially persnickety dragons. That is a question for somebody, not me, Lone Goldfish. I am very much, since my job was originally to make the paint, and then now is, I have been put on streaming duty and painting duty. I do not know current releases. So John is the man, and he is technically in chat, so maybe he will look it up for you. I'm just going to do some lighter... I'm just going to block in some stuff. Sometimes you just want to block it in and then blend it. Now we'll grab some stuff. There we go, much better. Because I know I'm going to glaze over this, so I don't mind blending it. Let's see. Hydro, I have been training Sadie for several months on paint mixing and creation and running the department, and pretty much wrote the department manual for her so that she would have all of the information she needed. So she's been actually running the department for the last couple months. So you all don't have to fear. She's doing a great job. She's got a natural knack for color, because of she used to work in hairdressing and stuff with dyes and such. So she actually does have a good grasp on a lot of what we need for somebody who runs that department. And she just does a great job. She's very conscientious. She's very, very conscientious about color matching. So she's up with the high standards, which is great. But yeah, Sadie is the paint line is in really good hands with Sadie. I could not have asked for a better person to be available to take over my department now that I am leaving. But I'm going to have to figure out how to satisfy my itch to make new colors now, you know. I won't have it. It won't be easy for me anymore. Gonna have to figure it out. I have to fly into Reaper to use the paint department every once in a while. When I get this must have this color, must make now kind of itch, right? I'm just wet blending and doing more wet blending, yay! Because I at least wanna block in all these greens for this dragon, and then we will go over that. Yeah, and I'm dipping wing claws. Actually, I'm kind of glad I didn't like paint the claws on this wing because they're just like dipping themselves in the paint, and I really don't care. Because we are up for more important things. We can paint those claws once the dragon is fully assembled. The claws will not be difficult. But the tail would be difficult. So we will just suck it up and paint our tail. Oh yeah, home improvement, all about it. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're here then, Hydro. It's good. Right? Everybody's got more home time. I'm seriously socially distancing myself from Ron. Yes, exactly. Like, I am taking social distancing so very seriously when it comes to Ed and Ron. Might even set a new social distancing record. Oh, as far as making new paint colors, yeah. I mean, if I really have a paint color in mind, I'm certain I'll just keep notes in my journal, and then when I do come back to Reaper, I'll be like, I'm going to disappear to the paint department, and then 5 new colors were born. Justin is here, Max Powers, but he's working really hard on making sure that Reaper Live can be a thing tonight. And they're trying to work with a new program to make that a lot easier. So until he figures that out, he's going to be remote. He is here. He's listening in. If you desperately need him, you can say so. But try not to interrupt him otherwise, because he really needs to get this stuff done so you guys can watch Ron and Ed tonight and listen to them.
What's up, Max?
I'm just blending in these edges so that this dragon can get going. We haven't worked with these colors for a while. You guys remember it's the swamp green mixed with creamy ivory. And then I've got some purple that I need to use up here. And I want to make a kind of a lighter part of it. I want to get more of it. There we go. There was a bit of purple. And mostly, again, I'm just blocking this stuff in right now. I will make it more finesseful in a moment. But right now, I just want to get it kind of down. Or not down, depending on how I decide I like it or don't like it. Maybe I'll mix some yellow or some white and purple. There we go. Let's see here. I'm going to fit him up on his base. Oh, I missed a Nomad Zeke pun? What? Oh, no problem. Max Powers. You know, I love doing this stuff. All right, so actually, I'm getting to the point where I could actually... I've blocked in what I need to block in for the tail to look decent. I think I can hit the purple highlights. I'm just testing to see what I can hit with my brush now that he's kind of semi-assembled. I think I'm just going to get a little purple stripe down the top of these scales, And then I'm going to do a purple glaze. And then I'm probably going to do some claws at the last minute. All right, let's do a glaze of purple over this green. Yay. All right, because that's what we do, right? That's the way we roll. We grab some runic purple and we mix it with water. And then we glaze it over this green to give it a weird look. Weird kind of opalescent-y look. Remember, you don't want your glaze to pool ever. You want to make sure that the excess is wicked off. So do that. Don't let it pool. And that gives us kind of a weird opalescent greenish purpley look, which is exactly what the rest of the dragon has on him. So yay, we have succeeded. Get a little bit more purple down there. All right. Good. Excellent. All right. I'm good with that. Now I want claws, and then I'm going to put the sucker together. All right, good. You guys are just chatting. Just keep chatting. Oh, I've almost forgot the paw. Remember the other paw clenched in the paws of the other dragon. So let's see. Let's do that then quick because I've got my green open. We're going to do exactly what I just did. We're going to start with swamp green. And we're going to kind of dab it on here where the scales are going. Kind of trying to hit my scales as I go. Then we're going to go to our highlight. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. Now I want a little bit lighter. Good dear. All right. We can get that. And go even lighter on the top. Maybe even get a little bit of this in there. There. And the closer I go to white on some of these scales, the more the pink is gonna, the purple is gonna show up when I do my glaze. Alrighty. Do this. All right, I think that's pretty good. Now I can do my purple glaze. Then we can do some claws. Hey, Jazion. Or Jazion. My super patron. I'm glad you could catch a stream. Yes, hello, Rax. Poof, a wild Rax appears. But what element of Pokemon are you, Rax? But yeah, so, well, Jazion, you picked a really good stream to catch because this is the We Finished the Dang Dragons stream. So shortly I will be assembling Dance of Dragons. Mostly I'm just glazing now to get this paw set up. And then I'm going to put claws on. The dragon needs his claws done. The black one needs a manicure. And then we can attach things. 4 a.m. But yay, dragon! Spoken like a true miniature painter. Alrighty, where is my skinny brush? Now I need claw brush. Claw brush must be skinny because claws are sharp. And we'll do the paw claws first. Let me mix up this brown of mine, which is, if you recall, russet brown 9199 with a bit of stained ivory 9142 in it to lighten it up a bit. But yeah, and this is my last stream until I am in California, because I need time now to pack up the rest of my house. So I will be working hard on that for the next week till the movers come. Movers come on the 3rd, so about a week from now. And that then will be driving my butt to California as fast as I can get it there, and loading all my streaming stuff into my car so that if my moving truck gets derailed or exploded or something, I still have my streaming stuff. So essentially, I will get back online as fast as I can once I'm in California. That's the bottom line. I'm just catching all the little claws. Catching the claws. With brown first, to give it a good base for the cream and ivories that I'm going to use. Let's see here. We're on a mission for Med. Oh yeah, there was actually a briefly seen pupper snout, Jazian. And yeah, some chatter about dogs. She's snoozing right now. She likes it when I stream. She can just crash on her pillow and hang out while I talk to y'all. Get all my claws done here. Is Hydro, is who gonna join me? Oh, my guy or my dog? my dog is a girl, so hopefully you're talking about my guy. I don't know. I could... the thing is that he's still working. He works remotely right now. Yeah, he works remotely right now, and so David is actually working right now. He does a lot of conference calls, I think, with his work during the day. I would love to import him for a stream if I can get him to do it. We'd have to figure out how to do it. But he could always just sit on the side and heckle me if he wanted to. Yeah, I mean, it would be fun to have David on a stream with me. He does things totally different than I do, so when I make comments about, how I can't stand wet palettes and can't use them, he can say, wet palette is the only thing I use, you are silly, and things like that. Yeah, our painting styles are pretty much the exact opposite to each other. Which is actually kind of fun, because we always do things completely differently. But yeah, we'll see if I can get him, if I can haul him in. Make him show you guys some awesome speed block-in. His stuff, when he starts a model, he starts it very differently than I do. He blocks in everything with really strong light and shadows. And so just having him do that on a stream would be kind of fun, because he's so fast at it, and it looks so good just after he's done that. So that would be kind of a cool thing to have David do for you all, if I could talk him into it. I will do my best. I can just make him sit where I sit and stay on camera and talk to you folks. I can pay him in cookies. Jason, David does, let's see. He does and he doesn't. He doesn't underpaint, usually. He just goes for it. I have a couple. Kernika, I think we're equal, but I think our styles are really different. Here, let me show you. Why not? We're just hanging out. It's not like we're trying to finish a dragon or anything, but I actually have a couple of David's models here. He gave me a present, and then there's another one that he wants that we're thinking about collaborating on that I really love, that he kind of put down for a minute. So just a second. All right, so luckily I have my little display shelf for minis, very close. So he gave me his class model. So he gave me that one. So you can see it's very strong light and shadow contrast. And then the one that he kind of put down and lost interest in, but that I love that he did, is Toad. This is Toad. So this is David's painting style, which is very different from mine. So it's not really sketch style. Yeah, he does OSL like a dream. Like David does amazing light effects. So yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it, Malsur. That's what we're thinking, because he did Toad up to this point, and then he just lost interest in Toad. But I love Toad, and so I'm thinking I'm gonna finish it. Yeah, he's wonderful. Yeah, David is a wonderful painter. Like together we are a mini painting power couple. It's fantastic. Yeah, he loves teal and red, so he does a lot of variations on that. I always tease him for being in a color rut, but I'm in a purple and gold color rut, so it's just as bad. I don't remember where Toad is from. I can find out though. I can't. Is it? It's not Chimera, is it? It's not. I really can't remember. Yeah, it looks like Sunrise Colors. And purple isn't a rut, it's a way of light. I agree with you, Kathira. But that said, I do need to get out of my color rut a little bit. All right, I'm going to put these back on the shelf and then get back to dragons. One sec. So I would say that like David's style is sketchier than my normal style, because I like really smooth blending normally. On something like Toad, I probably would have gone a lot smoother, whereas he went for a lot of textured brush strokes. But in general, I wouldn't call it sketch style necessarily. I don't know. I should ask him tonight what he would call his painting style, if he had a name for it. I need more purple on this. There's not sufficient purple. I guess I am kind of departing from my color scheme here on the dragons, since they are definitely not purple and gold, although there's purple involved. Yeah, he's more painterly, by far, Jason. And mostly, it's just that he works, and this is why I talk a lot about the differences between working on a wet palette and a well palette. A wet palette will encourage a particular style, and a well palette will encourage a particular style, and you could really, like, push the boundaries on all of those. But in general, when you're using a wet palette, you're going to get a more painterly style, because it's going to be hard to keep your paint consistency correct for blending. No, actually, V-Man, David does not really do commission work. Like, he loves to spend all of his free time painting for himself. Like, the man puts me to shame. He actually has inspired me to finally, like, just work on models for me and keep them. Because in the past, when I was freelancing, all of my work got sold, and then, this time I'm going to be taking commissions and stuff. But he has such a wonderful collection of his past work just over the last 5 years. Like, it's wonderful. Like, he's got a display case just full of his own work, and you can see how he progressed and how he got better and everything. And so I totally don't blame him for keeping, a lot of his stuff and not doing commissions and not selling his work. I kind of am jealous. I'm going to start keeping some of my own stuff as well. It makes me want to be able to see kind of like what I've done. It's really cool. He also, he does commission other painters. So he has some very nice models from Kirill and Sergio and Jennifer Haley and, a bunch of painters that we like. So, yes. Okay, so that paw. Now claws. Claw time. And can you recommend a pinning drill? Do I have mine with me? I use the really generic one. The little hand drill. Do I have it? Do I have one here? Yes, maybe I do. Hold on. Have my jar of sundry items. Yes, I do have one. All right, so the one I use is the very, very generic one. It is this one. And what I use with it are very tiny drills. I actually do not go any higher than a number 75, which is very small, as you guys can see. And then with that, the number 75 bit fits a 24 gauge wire. So I just use beading wire because it's easy. And if you look, it's a 0.51 millimeter wire, and this is a 0.52 millimeter bit. So it's perfect. So number 75 drill bits, and you can order them through Rio Grande Supply and probably Micromark as well. And then this is just from Michael's. So Hello, Art Mike Disney. But yeah, so I use very simple. And I like this small drill because for me, for my size of hands, it's very comfortable. So it sits perfectly, and I can turn it perfectly. Find a drill at least that fits your hand comfortably, since you're going to be kind of pressing on it, and you're going to be putting pressure, and you don't want to hurt your hand. So that is what I use. I honestly have never found it useful to have a bigger drill bit, except maybe for one time. But now that everything is resin, plastic, it's all like lightweight, right? When you were doing dragons back in the day and you had to pin a wing on, you wanted a bigger pin. But these days, you really just don't need it. It's a dragon. Yes, Art of Mike Disney, you are a rock star. It's 2 dragons, actually. 2 dragons who are about to be fighting. I think I just need claws. Claws on the black dragon. That's right. That's what we were working on. All right, white dragon, you are done. Get up there. There. All right. So, black dragon keeps wanting to color his claws by dipping them into my palette, Mike. But otherwise, things are going well. Let's just make sure that I am... Aw, thank you. Thanks, Mike. You're such a sweetie. I don't feel like a rock star. I feel like a gosh darn it, dragon, quit dipping your claws in the paint. At least he's dipping the claws I haven't done yet. Alrighty, so let's see here. I do want to touch up the socket here where his claw is going to be connecting up to his other claw. How's it going, Justin? Just checking on you.
Typing away.
All right. Justin is just here, but working hard on getting Reaper Live set up for tonight, guys. So if you don't hear him talk much, that is why. We need him to be engaging his brain cells in something other than heckling us for once. Just need to paint this guy. Josh, use a rotary tool. Sharky, if you're good with a rotary tool, it can save your hand a lot of like pressure, especially if you have like any sort of arthritis or stuff in your hands. I would say try the rotary. Be very careful with it. Really keep an eye on it. You might have to use bigger pins. I find that the rotary, for me, I don't have good enough control over it. Like I will break bits with it. Whereas with this, I have extreme, I can control absolutely the pressure and exactly where my pin is going. I also am pinning a lot of really fine stuff, so I don't know that a rotary would be great for that. I could see that it would be, thanks, Jazion. I can see that it would help in some things, but I think for little stuff, I don't think I could do it. But if you're good with a rotary tool, like if you regularly use a Dremel, I bet you could absolutely pin with it. I mean, it sounds like Josh is good with it, and it can certainly save your hands a bit of hurt if doing that sort of thing, if putting pressure on things hurts you. So I have a lot of friends with arthritis in their hands and fingers, and I can totally get it. I'm just painting claws away, folks. Just blocking them in brown, and then we'll do the bone, the ivory highlights. Yeah, I do that even, Jazion, I actually do that with my hand drill. Like, I'll still start the hole with an X-Acto so that I know it's going exactly where I need it to go. And I usually start out drilling very slowly, also for the same reason, to make sure that it doesn't slip or go the wrong way. Pause, getting Dragonling paws. We are almost there. So close. Yeah, easier to control. Yeah, exactly. See, Bellin, that's actually just perfect. Yeah, if you've got like any sort of wrist or hand pain, I totally get that the rotary is definitely the way to go. If you don't and you're not good with the rotary tool, I would advise trying the hand first just to get the knack of pinning, and then graduating to a rotary and learning slowly how to keep good control and low speed. Some people are just really good at assessing pressure with electronic tools. I'm just so used to doing it by hand, and I don't have hand pain, so luckily, knock on desk, I will avoid arthritis in my fingers for a while yet. All right, I got to get those claws, the side of the claws, and this side of the claws. Claw, claw, claw. Much claw. So claw. All right, got to touch this up. I'm stopping and touching up parts as I see where I need to. Alrighty. Yeah, Mike Disney. I'm sorry if I missed that. Yeah, essentially the key to using the palette is just the, like this paint has been mixed since this morning. And I'm looking at it, and if I stick my brush in it, it's good still. It's more than good. And if I want to layer with it, then I just have to add like a brush full of water. You know, this is me kind of knowing what my paint consistency should be at for what I'm trying to do. So the key here is building deep puddles. So all of these are probably between 8 and 10 drops of paint plus at least 4 drops of water, depending on how thin I'm bringing it. The more water and paint you have in it, the longer it's going to stay at the consistency you need it. Even in warmer days like this, where I've got my AC set only like up at 73 or something, so it's quite warm in here. So essentially, those guys, I just added 1 drop of water to each, and they're perfect consistency, and they've been going since this morning. So I could work on this palette with these colors all day before they maybe started to beat up enough around get enough clumps in them, you know, if I'm remixing them with all this paint around the edges. Toward the end of the day, I usually like to, you can see a little bit of clumpy there actually. Toward the end of the day, I usually like to just rinse it out, unless I'm working with all of these colors still, and then I'm like, okay, I've got to make this work. But yeah, in general, like at Paint Club on Saturdays, I would sit and paint for 4 hours and not have to clean out my palette or remix colors. So that gives you an idea. Yay. Overgored. The overgored is funny. Yeah, frustrations are evil. Thank you, Sentimental. Yeah, he's, I'm just finishing his touch-ups before I put him on his base. We were just doing claws. And then I'm going to show you guys how to assemble this sucker, because there is a definite order to assemble this in. And I doubt that anybody knows it yet, since it hasn't actually been released. So let me get his claws done, and then we're going to actually put it together. So let's get his little, just doing his little highlights on his little claws. Got to get a little bit of a ivory highlight, so we're doing stained ivory first, then we'll do the tips in creamy ivory. And I'm starting back toward the root of the claw and pulling out toward the tip to make the claws look good. And I'm using a thin brush so I can kind of get striations. Just like you kind of have like little, if you look at your own fingernails, you can kind of see the lines going out from your cuticle out to the end of your nail. Same theory here with claws. Is start your stroke toward the nail bed, and pull out toward the end of the claw. The green and purple. Yeah, I know. I had to go crazy. I was like, I'm going to do a black dragon, only not black. Yeah, you know, because it's fun. And I hadn't tried that before, and now that I've done it, I want to do it on a really high-end mini. Like, I mean, this guy has a lot of hours in him, but I could go to town, like, competition-wise on this color scheme and probably make it look iridescent. And that would be awesome, and also, you know, probably drive me to insanity, but you know, that's the good part, right? Little nails, little claws, little dragon claws. This little dragon claw. This little dragon claw. Remember to get the dragon claws from both sides. Okay, get those. We're almost there. It is possible to go too thin. Absolutely, Sharky is right. It really is. Yeah. Hold on. Who said that? I'm trying to scroll back up in chat. Come here, chat. There's my little chat bar. Princess. Yeah, okay. Okay, so straight up, Princess, if you're trying to layer, then start at around a 2-to-1 paint to water, which is a lot thicker than water, so that you should not feel like you're putting water on the mini. So 2-to-1, about like that. And usually you have to go a little bit thinner, but with colors that are dark, they're going to be naturally translucent, and you won't have to go much thinner than that. With pure white, I can go 1-to-1, one paint to water, and it still draws a pretty firm stroke. Also make sure that when you're working with thin paint like that, you want to only add a little bit on your brush. So like when I'm dipping my brush in the paint, I'll put my wing here so you can see it. Only about half of my brush, hopefully you can see, has paint on it. And then I'm going to unload it and get most of that paint off of there. Because when your paint is thin, you only need a tiny bit on your brush for it to make an impact. So kind of look at ratios. If you don't have a well palette, I would recommend getting one just for that, just to learn like what ratio. Check the different ratios. Check 2-to-1 paint to water, mix up a puddle of that, and get an idea of how it feels and how it looks. And then try to highlight with it and think, oh, do I need a little thinner? Do I need a little thicker? But then just add water incrementally. Only when you're glazing should it look like colored water. And glazing is just when you really are just trying to shift a color a little bit or blend in your layering lines or something like that. So, oh, I've got a hair on my brush. Boop, get out of there. Probably a Kiri hair. Little dog. She's asleep. She's so funny. When she sleeps, her tongue hangs out of her mouth. And then when you wake her up suddenly, she sits up and her tongue is still hanging out of her mouth. It's very cute. It's like she's giving you a raspberry. Old dog things. Cute old dog things. She never did it when she was younger, but now she's an old dog. She's just like, I cannot be bothered to tuck my tongue in my mouth. Oh, hi, green users. Yeah. I'm glad you are learning a lot. Yeah, I know I have to move them a lot when I'm painting them at this stage because I'm dodging wings everywhere I go. That's why I paint them mostly unassembled first. All right, well, we're about to put these suckers together. Just trying to get the last highlight on one of these little claws. If I missed a claw, I'm going to have to get it elsewhere. All right, are we ready? Super Princess Zelda. Yeah, and when you base coat, I usually go like 6 drops of paint to 1 drop of water. And then, yeah, when you're highlighting or shading or highlighting, try the 2-to-1. And you can go down to 1-to-1, but that'll be really thin. Some colors you'll have to go down to 1-to-1 because to get them transparent, it just takes that much. All right, guys, when you are assembling these dragons, the key point that you must do first, absolutely no exceptions, is this little claw to the part where he's grabbing the other dragon's tail. You've got to socket that claw in well. So get the bottom part to actually fit in the socket. You got to make sure your tails are in the right place because there's also a tab on the tail here that fits in, which is why I've got rub off right here. I'm going to touch up. But don't worry about the tab on the tail. Only try to get this paw inserted correctly. And get it socketed in. And really stick it in, and it should almost hold itself in place. Yes, and the reason it holds itself in place, because now I can just stop, is because there's indentations for 2 claws here, the other claw grips this side, and then down underneath, you can see that this claw fits underneath this ridge on the white dragon. So this means that this will socket together very well. And everything else works from there. You've got to do this paw first, though, because if you try to put it on the base or you try to hook up other parts first, this paw will fight you. But if you get this paw nailed, then everything else is going to just fall into place and socket in and no problem. Because you can get everything else to bend. But after you've glued everything else on, getting this foot in this position exactly where you need it is really difficult. So I'm going to take it out, I'm going to put some glue in, and we're actually gluing this in. I'm going to put some glue in the bottom, and then I'm going to actually put some glue where the claws kind of fit in so that it has a little reinforcement. We're going to do that. And then we're going to insert this foot. All right. Yeah, no, yeah, resin, no go. Exactly, right? All right, so I'm making sure I've got that. I'm going to get this part in here. Then I'm going to get the toes. And I've got to make sure that this toe, I got to squish it. Really squish it down. Brutalize it. If you have to, like, you know, touch up your paint job, you have to touch up your paint job. And it's the way it works. Okay, good. So I've got that foot in position. Now I'm going to pull this little dragon's tail aside. I'm going to get it here. So let's do the tail and the foot. And I have to be careful because I'm kind of pulling out my foot on the other side. All right, there we go. There. All right. So now that I have these in position, they're very, very close, although I'm smudging glue out. So now I have to grab that with something. Let's see. Random end of pokey sculpty tool. There. Grabbed glue out. So now this sucker just has to kind of sit for a second. I can probably marry up their little paws though, and so I'll use this extra dab of glue that I've got and put that right here on this little contact point with the paws, which is actually a great use for that little bit of glue. And then I can make that go, and then I can pretty much just hold the two dragons together all at once. There we go. You got to turn the paw. Turn this paw a little bit too. You got to make sure that the little cuttings that Julie has done marry up correctly. So at this point, we've got 3 points glued. We really have to stop and just kind of hold them for a little bit. The glue that I'm using right now is Loctite Super Glue Ultra Gel Control. I like Loctite for the gel, and when I want a thinner glue, I go with Zap-A-Gap Medium. Because I like the flexibility that Zap-A-Gap has. Here are my two glues. There you go. The Zap-A-Gap comes with a long snoodle that you can put on, a snozzle that you can put onto the glue, and then this one has a fine aperture, so both of them are good for miniature applications. This one is kind of halfway between a gel and a super runny, and this one is definitely a thick gel, so what they're good for varies. I use both. Haha, Taz Lynch. Bittersweet for you, maybe. Pretty thrilling for me. All right, I'm going to actually go back to Facecam. I probably forgot. Yep, I forgot to deactivate it. So you get the paint solution. You get my second blooper of the day. So now that we've got this actually looking like it's going to stick together, now we can actually put the dragon on the base. And then we can do final touch-ups. So Black Dragon's tail fits pretty well. And White Dragon, I'm just kind of like leaning back until I can slot him in, and I'm going to slot them in together. More or less. There we go. All right. Let's see here. Well, let's see. We'll move our little cam a little bit. You guys can see my messy bookshelf. And let's go ahead and put, there we go. All righty. Yes. Well, you know what? And I did rub off some paint when I was putting a lot of pressure on these models to hold them together. But it's fine because it's just little touch-ups at this point, right? It's just little touch-ups. So here you are, Bob and Julie. Here's your babies fighting each other. Yay. Here they are. I have to be my own spinny wheel, right? I don't have the awesome platform that they have on, so you can see the wings. And the dragon. Who is who? I haven't decided. Max, when I set out to paint these, I actually decided on purpose not to set a who was good and who was evil. I wanted to kind of just leave it open. So... Oh, yes. Thanks for the plug, Jayzion. I do have a Patreon, guys, and since I am going only part-time at Reaper, my Patreon will be my main source of, like, an income. So come and join us. Any bit helps, and I do a lot of stuff on the paint line. on colors. I'm actually doing a lot of things on color schemes right now, since that's the most popular topic that people seem to want. So it's patreon.com/paintingbig. And I do a lot of things on there. I'm going to do some fun stuff for the $10 level on NMM brass and painting over Zenith base coats, actually, is my next topics for this month. Yeah, and I'm bad. You're not the first one to say that. Yin and Yang dragons. Yes, exactly. Yeah, I could make my own spinny. Achilles Blade, this dragon fighting diorama will be out this summer. Assuming that things ship from overseas by the summer, right? But that was that's the official. Is it supposed to be out by summer? So yeah. Oh yeah, good Dragonheart. Yeah, bring me a sample paint to see if I can match it. You bet. Oh yeah, green users. I noticed it was close. I noticed that it was close. That you could possibly get the one hand to touch the wing, but I would have to probably contort it a little bit to do that. I'm not sure I want to. Trying to keep it all together as it is. So you could do it either way. You probably wouldn't take too much to get this this paw touching Black's wing. You would have to kind of move the way their paws are being together. You'd have to move it a little bit. You might be able to do this and glue it and get that all together, and that would give you an additional support point. If you kind of hooked these claws over Black's claw, you could. There we go. That could pull the dragons together more, and make it even closer between their heads. So, yeah, good point, green users. It would also give you another contact point for support to keep the whole diorama together, right? So yeah, I can do that. I can put a little dab of glue in there, and get that stuck. That's a good idea. May as well do it now, right? And then it's just touch-ups, and then Ron gets his dragons fighting diorama finally. Gloob. You know what? I think I'm gonna actually put the gloob between these paws. There we go. And then we will stick it here, and then we will see if it takes. And hopefully that will hold it. I'm just gonna hold it in place again for a couple minutes. Thanks for the suggestion, green users. I'm actually waiting to see. I'm going to hold it in place to see if I can get it to stay. And adjusting positioning here. If I did all the paws, like if I did a dab of glue, and this is where the Zap-A-Gap comes in handy, guys, because it's a thinner glue. So if I grab out my Zap, and because it's a thinner glue, it'll capillary action a lot easier. Hold on, let me make sure I've got it workable. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. Just need to make sure I didn't have to clear the snozzle. But then I can put on my long snozzle. See? Now I can insert tiny dabs, like right at the contact point. And because this is fluid glue, it will flow underneath the claw. But because it is also thicker than it's not a super runny glue, it doesn't require a perfect match to bond. So, oh, thanks, Robin. Yeah, essentially, if I've got a really small contact point, I like the Zap-A-Gap medium CA+. Let's see here. This one. It's halfway between a really runny super glue and a gel. And for things like this, where you want capillary action to kind of slurp your glue into a contact point, it's wonderful. And it also is really flexible. Like it doesn't just hold. Some super glues are very, very much, pulling this way is fine. But then if you do that, they shear. But Zap-A-Gap has good flexibility, which is another reason I like it. So it holds even if you get some sideways pressure on it in general. And then the Loctite is just nice because it is a super goopy gel. It will gap fill. And that's that one, the Ultra Gel Control. Come on, focus, camera, focus. It says no way, I'm focusing on your head. That's fine. Oh, as far as the base, this base actually has a lot of reddish color on it and golden color. It just didn't end up quite as saturated, but the colors are desaturated. The dragons are desaturated also, WCC. So I actually like the base. I think that if I did it again, I would maybe put the white dragon lower and the black dragon higher, but But, I mean, I like the base because it looks very naturalistic. So for me, that's it. All right, let's see. No, I don't know if it's going to hold. I may have to pin it to get this paw to hold Julie. Which would not be a bad thing because it would give it more support. But I may just have to hold it a little bit longer. I suppose I could maybe put a clamp on it if I had a clamp around here somewhere. But I think that might be the one piece of low technology I do not have on my desk. And I don't know that I have rubber bands either. Oh, wait! I lied! Ha ha! You're not a true miniature painter unless you've got rubber bands handy. All right, let me see here. How can I do? Unfortunately, while he's actually put together, this could be difficult. Let's see here. I'm going to try to figure out where I need to put the rubber band to keep it the pressure on it. And then I'm going to pull it out. It's quite a big rubber band, so I wonder if this would work. Yep. What can I say? Longtime miniature painter, used to jerry-rigging stuff. Yeah, once I touch him up, Reaper John, I'm going to be going into Reaper probably next week. I want to drop off models for Ron before I leave town. And this will be one of the models I'm dropping off. So they will get it so that they can take good pictures of it. And then we can put pics up online. Yep.
All right, Miss Ann.
Yeah. What time is it? Oh, damn! That was perfect.
Yeah, that's spot on. Look at that.
Wow, awesome. Yeah, well, I had a rubber band, and the rubber band isn't going to strip paint off, really, so I'm pretty happy about that, guys. I think I'm going to just leave that to set, and hopefully that claw will glue together, and Julie will get her wish, and her dragon will be fighting effectively. I'm just going to make sure that I've got this not contacting any glue points after we log on, and we'll log off and we'll be good. So yeah, let me fix my camera since I totally... There we go. There's more. There's Anne back to her normal state. Yes! Yeah, one dragon is trying to tie the other up. Yes, well, you can interpret it that way if you wish, right? Do we still need one more sub for the AMA? What are we at, Justin? We've gotten a lot of subs.
Did we get subs during this stream? Because I honestly didn't have it pulled up as far as...
Not bad. I'm going to say...
We were at 22 when the stream ended, 23 when the stream ended earlier. So
yeah, and we got at least 2 during this stream. How many did we get during the stream? Was anybody watching? Hey there, Table Flip Studios. I just finished putting together this dragon diorama that I've been painting for 37 weeks. Welcome. We're about to finish everything. Numbat gifted 5.
Oh, thank you, Numbat. Look at
well, that means we're at it. Because we got 2, and then Numbat gifted 5.
Then perfect. Look at that.
Oh, I thought we got 2. I was pretty sure we got at least 2 during the stream earlier with Numbat.
You know what? Thank you, Numbat, for gifting him. We'll go ahead and just say we got there.
All right. So that means that my first stream after I've moved to California is going to be an AMA, which is good because that'll be a good trial run, right, for my new setup to make sure everything is working. So when I come back, and that could be, I was originally saying Monday the 13th, but I may be able to get set up a bit earlier since I'm taking all my stuff with me. We need to also unpack and set up the new place. But we'll see what we can do. I may be able to do a short stream earlier on. But at any rate, so my first real stream after coming back will be an AMA. Go to the Reaper Discord, and in the Questionable Anne channel, pop all your questions. whether it's what the heck is this color good for, or I'm using this color and I don't know what to highlight it with, or anything like that. It's all good. Or any questions about me, my dog, diet. Keto diet. I can tell you, I can talk for hours on the keto diet. I've been on it for long enough. Is there Reaper Live later? Justin is working hard on that right now, Lurkus Spleen.
Yes, there will be.
Yes,
Actually,
indeed.
we made a breakthrough.
Oh,
In the middle of the
yay!
stream.
Do I notice cultural differences between Texas and California? Wait, yeah, that would be a great. Actually, that's a great question. Please put that one into the channel. I would love. Actually, we'd have David and I just kind of go head to head on that one and duel. Tell each other why that which culture is better and which points. One thing I do notice is that Texas is very polite. Like everybody here, ever since I moved here, that I noticed that because the Midwest, if you get your fast food, you get your fast food. They kind of look at you, take your money, and give you your fast food. And when I moved down here, they were like, "You have a great day, sweetie," and I was just like, "Whoa, what is this?" And that's just Texas. That's just the way the manners are down here. And everybody holds open doors for you. Nobody held doors open for me in Wisconsin, or it was very rare, shall we say. So I can do like Midwest versus Texas versus California now. And technically, I did live out in Baltimore for a year also. But I don't have as many takebacks. I don't have as many takeaways from the Baltimore experience. Take some road trip photos. Yeah, I can put them on my Patreon. Put them on my Discord. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I mean, I'm going to go to Santa Fe first because I have friends there. And obviously, I know the city really well. So that'll be a good place to stop over. It's about a 9-hour drive from here in Denton. And then the second leg is going to be to Flagstaff, which is in the mountains in Arizona. And that's gorgeous. So I'm sure we'll get some good pictures for you guys there. Yeah. All right. Actually, I had a lot of fun in Baltimore, Gimli, but I worked for Games Workshop briefly out there. I had some good friends. It was a good time, and I liked the weather. I love the fall on the East Coast because it lasts. Like in Wisconsin, fall was 2 weeks and done, and down here in Texas, it can sometimes feel like that, or maybe just a month, month and a half. But in the East Coast, fall actually lasts 3 months. It's crazy. So yeah. You hold open doors in Minnesota? All right. Let's not get the Midwest wars going on, Princess Zelda. You guys could just go on about Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Like, really, that's enough said. And then if you toss in Ohio, then it gets worse. So yes, have good fun with your groceries. Thank you for having have a good trip wishes. Maybe +1 David on camera freestyle. I'll try to talk him into doing a quick lesson for you guys at some point. I'll offer him cookies. But yes, thank you for the safe travels. I've got my room is booked for ReaperCon. David and I have our rooms booked. So we're planning on coming down. Hopefully ReaperCon is a thing. Because otherwise I lose all my money. Yeah, winter, right, Taslange. But anyway, you guys have a great day. Do we have a raid set up, Justin?
Yes, we do.
Who are we raiding?
We're going to be raiding CNOT.
Oh, awesome! Yay for CNOT. All right, he gets my last one. Okay, guys. I'm going to drive safe. I promise. I'll give you updates on Discord if you're a patron. I'll try to post on Reaper Discord too. Bye!
All right, guys. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for coming out. And yes, we will, here in about 2 hours, be having an episode of Reaper Live. So we will see you guys then. Hey, hopefully it starts on time. Problem is I've got to get everyone home and on their computers and ready to actually do the show. So that's going to be something. Tonight will be, it could be a roller coaster with some screws missing, but we'll get it done. All right. Thanks, guys.